Anything is possible. It started with a dream. Our passion made a difference and built a family. We've grown strong together. You know it's all because...
Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Donna and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator from the Northern Rivers area in New South Wales, Australia. I wanted to jump on today and show you a really quite simple, easy card to make using the In the Pines bundle. Now, this is brand new in our August-December mini catalog, which is live at the moment right now. So any of the products that I use can be purchased through my online store that I use today. It's called In the Pines. Now, it's a stamp set. It's a beautiful watercolored effect stamp set, which is really, really nice. So you can stamp the outline, but you can also stamp the watercolored look, so you don't have to get out those aqua painters, which is fantastic. So I'm going to show you a really simple, cute card. It also has some gorgeous dies that go with it in the bundle. So when you purchase the bundle, you save 10%. So it's got these awesome snowy hills that you can use, which is fantastic, and you can cut out the trees, and there's also some accent trees as well, which is really, really great. So it's a super good bundle to purchase. If you want to save 10%, you purchase the stamps and the dies and you save that 10%. All right, so I've chosen, it's also got an awesome embossing folder. It's a bit hard to see here, but it's a beautiful embossing folder with some trees. So I'm going to show you a different effect today while I do this card. So I've got some Very Vanilla. So first of all, I've got my Very Vanilla base, which is cut at 5 3/4 inches this way by 8 inches, scored in half at 4 inches. And when it's folded, we get a front card front size of 4 inches by 5 3/4 inches. I then have a crumb cake layer, and my crumb cake layer is cut at 3 3/4 inches by 5 1/2 inches. I then also have another Very Vanilla layer, and that Very Vanilla layer is cut at 3 1/2 inches by 5 1/4 inches. I've got an insert for my card, and it's Very Vanilla on Very Vanilla, but I always like to pop an insert on the inside, and that one there is cut at 3 3/4 by 5 1/2 inches for the insert. And I've got a scrap piece of Very Vanilla that I'm going to stamp and cut out a tree on. So what I'm actually going to do, first of all, I'm actually going to take this Very Vanilla piece that I've got for my front layer, and I'm going to run that through the embossing machine. Now I'm going to bring in our brand new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, which is fantastic. It is a beautiful machine, and it just flips out like that. So it's super, super awesome to use. Now, it has all the pads that we need, the cutting pads and everything that we need. So this is $209. It's not available to customers right at this very moment, but it is available to demonstrators. If you want to get your hands on this little baby, it's $209, and you get all of the plates to go with it. You get the base plate, the thin die adapter, the 2 cutting plates, and the grey embossing plate. You get all of that for $209. It will be available to customers on the beginning of September, but it's available to us as demonstrators right now. So if you wanted to get your hands on it, you can actually purchase the starter kit, and you will be able to pop it into your starter kit and only pay $169 for it. So if you wanted to ask me any questions about that, please feel free to message me. You can email me. You'll find my email down below, and I would be happy to chat with you. Or you can see my phone number up here, my mobile phone number, if you wanted to call and give me a chat. Okay, so I'm going to pop my Very Vanilla piece in there with the embossing folder, and then I'm going to use the grey embossing plate, so number 4, and it's going with the fold through that embossing machine first, and we're going to run it through. And can you see how gorgeous this is? It's smooth, it glides through, it is wonderful, and we're going to get a beautiful embossed layer for the front of our card, which, if I can get it out, look at those trees on that embossed layer. Absolutely gorgeous. All right. So I'm going to move that aside. We will need that a little bit later on. So I'm just going to move that aside because we're going to stamp and cut some trees out as well. All right, so we have that embossed layer. So with our scrap piece of Very Vanilla, I'm going to grab the large stamp, and I'm going to grab the detailed stamp, and I'm also going to grab the watercolor image. I'm going to do the detailed stamp in Early Espresso. I'm going to ink that up. I'm also going to use my Pierce mat underneath. Because it's a photopolymer stamp set, it's always good to use your Pierce mat underneath. So I'm going to ink that up with my Early Espresso, and I'm going to stamp that down onto that Very Vanilla piece of cardstock. So like that. And we've got a gorgeous tree. It stamps beautifully. Then I'm going to take my Sahara sand for the colored part of the tree. I'm just going to color it with Sahara sand. So this is like a watercolored look. You don't actually even have to be very particular in how you line it up, and stamp it over the image. But can you see how it gives that gorgeous watercolor look? I'll bring that up a little bit. So you can see it gives that, it's not in between the lines. So if you're a person that likes everything to be detailed and everything to be inside the lines, then this stamp set is not the type of stamp set for you, because it wants to give you that really nice that watercolor look. All right, so we're going to bring in the cut and emboss machine again, and we're going to cut that with the matching die that goes with it. So I'm going to need now, with the new cut and emboss machine, I've got my base plate, I've got my thin die adapter, which is number 2. So we've got number 1, number 2, and then a set of number 3, which is our cutting pads. We're going to put our piece of cardstock that's stamped there, and we're going to grab our large tree, and we will cut that one out. So lining up that stem at the bottom, lining up that top. We don't have the magnetic plate, but that magnetic plate will be coming for this gorgeous machine. So the beauty of the new magnetic plate is that it's a magnet all the way over. So you can see how that just glides through so easy. So much easier than our old Big Shot machine. So there we have a gorgeous tree cut out, ready to go on our card. All right, so we'll move that out of the way again. Bring back in our beautiful embossed piece here. So I've got some of this gorgeous ribbon that we have available, and I decided that I would use, I've got this beautiful, this is our, what's it called? Our fox suede trim. So it's beautiful suede ribbon. And we also have this gorgeous copper trim that is available in our catalogue. So I thought I might actually do both of those ribbons on there. So I'm going to turn that over, and I'm going to use some of our Seal Plus. Now this is an embossed layer. So with your embossed layer, you go very carefully with your Seal Plus. Slow, light-handed, and make sure you kick it up at the bottom, and then I can pop that ribbon into there. So I'm going to pop that bit of ribbon there and pop it across and in there. I'll grab my scissors to trim it off, and then I'm going to go through with the copper, and I'm just going to lay a row of copper just on top of that suede ribbon. So just like that. And we're going to get a really nice effect there. Okay. All right. So we'll move that out of the way. So now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to still take my Seal Plus, because this is an embossed layer. I want it to glue down really well. So I'm going to go with Seal Plus. I'm going to go over my ribbon, making sure I go nice and slow over those embossed pieces, not to tear the cardstock. If you go too fast over those, you will tend to tear the cardstock. Okay, so we've got that, and I'll just pop another little bit of Seal Plus here. Whoop, and my little ribbon came out. And another bit down on that bottom section. Okay, now the reason that I'm using the Seal Plus is I want it to glue really, really well onto the front layer because it is an embossed layer. So when you've got embossed layers, you can see that it tends to buckle your card a little bit, and to make it sit really, really well on your card, you need to make sure that you've got a very good strong hold glue. Just going to move them up, they're not quite straight. Let me see, does that look better? Yeah, much better. So you need to have a strong hold glue to be able to adhere it down onto that layer and make it sit nice and flat. So I'm just going to line that up. We're going to have a good 1/8 of an inch border all the way around, line it up and press it down. And because I've used the Seal Plus, you can see it presses down really, really nicely and nice and flat onto your card. Then I'm going to take some dimensionals and we're going to pop up that gorgeous tree on the front. Now, our dimensionals are fantastic for adding a bit of dimension to your card, exactly like they're called, dimensionals. Okay, so we're going to pop that tree just here over to the side. Now I'm going to, with that scrap piece of our Very Vanilla, I'm going to grab the stamp that says Season's Greetings. And I'm going to stamp that in my Early Espresso. And we're just going to stamp that down towards the bottom. And I'm going to bring in my pierce mat again to make sure I get a good stamped image. Just down towards that bottom of our cardstock. Hopefully my head's not in the way there. All right, just like that. So we've got Season's Greetings for our greeting on our card. And then I'm just going to take my little baby trimmer. Now, if you joined, you would have got this baby trimmer. If you're a Stampin' Up demonstrator, it's in our supply items, but at the moment there is none left because it's such a popular little trimmer. All right, so I'm just going to trim that off and I've got an awesome sentiment layer there. Okay. So I think I'm actually just going to go in there. Just going to cut those at an angle just to give it a little bit of difference on the front of the card. And we'll pop that there. So we'll pop that up onto dimensionals as well. Okay, now I'm only putting my dimensions on this side because I want it to straddle across my tree. So I want it to sit without being interrupted where the stem of our tree is. So I've just popped the 2 dimensionals on that side, leaving that side a little bit free. And we can pop that down there. Okay, now to add a little bit more oomph to this card, I'm going to take one of my Stampin' Up markers. Now this is a fantastic trick to do, and you need to make sure you protect your work surface because it is a little bit messy. I'm going to spritz. So I'm going to take my Stampin' Up marker, I'm going to take the brush end, and then I'm just going to pop it into my lid and I'm just going to flick it like so on my card. And you can see that just creates that gorgeous little spritzed look on the front of your card. So now I'm going to turn that over and I'm going to mount that up onto dimensionals and pop it onto the front of my card. And then we will stamp the insert. Just take those backings off. Okay. And we will pop that onto the front of our card right there. So 1/8 of an inch border all the way around, like so. And then for this one, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take, we've got these cute little trees here. So it's a row of 4 trees. So I'm going to mount those up. And I'm going to stamp just in that bottom corner. So I'm going to bring in my Pierce mat again. I'm going to stamp in the bottom corner with our Early Espresso. So I want to stamp down in that bottom corner just like that. Then I'm going to grab the watercolor image stamps for those. And I'm going to mount those onto a block, and I'm going to ink those up with our Sahara sand. So just like that. And then that will be perfect for the insert of the card. It then allows a lot of room for you to be able to write your message for whoever the loved one is that you want to give this gorgeous Christmas card to. I know it's hard to think about Christmas right at this stage, but Christmas is my most favorite time of the year for crafting. All right, and then to add a little bit more glimmer and shine to that, I'm going to take my Wink of Stella, and I'm just going to add on the tree just some nice brushed Wink of Stella to add a bit of glimmer and shine. Wink of Stella is a must-have in your craft room. If you haven't tried Wink of Stella, my idea is you really want to give it a go because it just adds that gorgeous glimmer and shine. I don't know whether you can see that in the video, but it absolutely just does that finishing touch on your card. So hopefully you have enjoyed that quick card today. So as you can see, a beautiful, simple yet elegant card. It can be for the males in your life. I think it has a very masculine feel to it. So I think it's super, super cute. You could turn this into a birthday card as well by just changing out the sentiment. So thank you very much for watching my video today. If you wanted to purchase any of the items that I have used today, you can go to donnagray.stampinup.net, or you can call me on my mobile, which is 0421725015. The links will be down the bottom below this video as well to my online store. And as I said, please feel free, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button down below and make sure you turn on that bell notification so you get notified every time I upload a video. So thank you very much for crafting with me today. And until next time, happy crafting. Bye for now.